Republican lawmakers are considering a change in their tax reform plan to add a fourth bracket for high-income earners. But who says the rich don't already pay their fair share? I mean, take a look at this, everyone. The top 10% of U.S. taxpayers are now paying more than 70% of the total amount of money the federal government collects in income taxes. That is the largest share anywhere. You go anywhere in the developed world, and in the United States of America, we are penalizing the earners the most. So why is Washington turning its back on our job creators? You know, that's what they are, job creators. I know this is not popular. You know who else knows it's not popular, but he'll take a stand on it. Former economic advisor to President Ronald Reagan, Art Laffer. Art, good to see you.
Good to see you, Trish.
You know, I feel like it's not popular. What I'm about to say, no one really likes, right? But I keep going back to this. Fundamentally, as Americans, we believe in the opportunity of everyone to be as prosperous as they possibly can in this country. So I think, sir, it is fundamentally un-American to say, because you're making that much money, we're going to take it away. We're going to take it away and we're going to redistribute it. Art, isn't there a better way to do this?
Yeah, there's a lot better way to do this. And by the way, Trish, I really think you are very, very popular, even if you say they shouldn't raise the highest tax rates.
Well, I think, look, I think I'm talking about what people fundamentally feel, right? I mean, we don't resent people because they're successful or wealthy. We just want to make sure that we can be just as successful or wealthy.
Yeah, Jack Kemp put it beautifully when he said, you can't love jobs and hate job creators. Phil Gramm said it beautifully long, long ago. He said, I've never been hired by a poor man. And, you know, when you look at this, the economics is what gets me, Trish, if I can. Every time we've raised the highest tax rate, every time we've raised it by any substantial amount over periods of time from 1913, well, not 1913, 1919 on, every time we've done that, tax revenues from the top 1% of income earners have gone down as a share of GDP. They then try to find loopholes, tax dodges, all that sort of stuff, and they don't pay the taxes. So you're not even going to get the money, and it's going to cause a bad economy. And plus, you're behaving very improperly versus people you should be proud of and honor.
So I hear you. I mean, and the numbers speak for themselves. To your point,
they really do.
You up taxes, your revenues go down. So it's not going to do you any good economically.
Yeah, exactly.
But
on the top 1%.
Here's the thing. You know who it does do you good with? The likes of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And let's face it, this is what Republicans are facing right now, though. They're fearful that people are going to say, oh, you're just giving a tax handout to the rich. You're just giving a tax handout to corporations. And so they want to be equipped with some way to say, we're going to penalize the rich because politically, Art, and this is where it's very dangerous because we're doing things for political reasons instead of economic reasons. But politically, it gives them cover.
Well, it does. But, you know, the Bernie Sanders aren't the things that Congress should be looking at. I mean, these panderings of these things that are totally bad economics. I mean, they really are bad economics. I mean, when you look at this stuff, you should ask yourself, how do we create growth and all that? But instead, these people in Washington, the congressmen, the senators, all of these are looking for pay-fors. Where they're trying to find a tax increase to offset the corporate tax cut or offset the inheritance tax cut. You know, all of that stuff, and that's silly. Pay-fors for a tax cut come down the road. They don't come in the first year. If you cut the corporate tax rate today, you will get pay-fors. We will have an increase in tax revenues above what they otherwise would have been down the road, 4, 5, 6 years down the road. We will have plenty of revenues coming in, and we don't need to sit there and pander on these little bitty things like raising the tax rate.
Well, you got to get it through, right, Art? I mean, you got to get it through, and so that's where the pandering comes in, because people will say, oh, you know, it's not fair. It's just going to benefit the rich, who, by the way, you know, I don't need to stand up for the rich, but I did point out that the top 10% are paying 71% of all taxes as it is. So they're paying the lion's share.
Let me give you an example. In 1986, Trish, we cut the highest marginal tax rate on Americans, the highest, the top 1%, from 50% to 28%. That's what we did. We cut the corporate rate from 46 to 34%. And guess what? Everyone in the Senate, 97 of the senators voted for it. Only 3 voted against it, including all the lefty-wefties, all the Bernie Sanders of the time. Alan Cranston did. Schumer did. Teddy Kennedy did. Bill Bradley did. You know, all of them did. Even Harry Reid voted for it. Even Dick Durbin voted for it back then. Barbara Boxer voted for it. Now, why do they change their mind? Because they are pandering right now, and they want to create a problem with Trump. It's not really true politics. They just want to go a raspberry at Donald Trump. And frankly, if they do that, they're going to get cleaned out in the next election. Everyone loves rich people. They think they're wonderful people. They want to become rich.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's the
in this
truth of it.
country
Art
wants to
Laffer,
become
you
rich.
are spot on, sir. Thank you
You're the
so
best,
much.
Trish. Thank you.
Good to see you, sir.